sucker.
I don't know what's real anymore.
I wake up and that Inception shit.
Yeah, that's what I thought we were going through last week with Jose's okay. Jose's hurt. Jose's okay. He can't. He's in too much pain. He's crying.
I can't believe they tried selling that shit.
Which it was a fracture, which means
poor dude.
The X-rays that they told us were negative the whole time showed a fracture.
Throwing Aldo's name through mud.
They threw him under the bus. They really did. And I love Conor McGregor. I wanted to see that fight so bad.
Yeah.
And as a bloodthirsty fan, I wanted him to fight injured.
Yeah.
Kind of.
And I would have thought, like that'll make for a great 2.
And so did Dana White. And that really he kind of threw himself, not necessarily into the bus.
He made himself look
like
bad to
asshole,
smart people. Smarter people, not saying everyone. I'm smart or anything.
It was kind of shameful the way they did it by Dana saying everybody relax and here's my best buddy. Connor, go ahead and stay in our private suite, the private Fertitta suite. You don't have to stay in the normal fighter hotel.
And just talk shit on him.
And then say that. I guess
he's scared.
The doctors cleared Conor to fight, or cleared Jose to fight. If he doesn't want to do it, it's his choice. But any professional that they've asked if you've had this kind of injury before, they say yeah. And I know Cowboy Cerrone fought with that injury, but he's a fucking freak.
And he didn't fight Conor McGregor.
He didn't fight Conor McGregor, or anybody of his ilk.
Yes, Conor's a freak. I think Conor's a freak.
Yeah.
I mean, not like it. I mean, in his mind, but I was watching how he trains and his moves he practices and what he practices. That back kick thing he does,
the hook kick or
he's spinning back kick,
a
spinning cat. I don't know.
Heel kick.
It has a lot of power behind it. And I think I remember seeing him.
I'm an expert in human movement.
He lifted that dude and put him back 5 feet with it. Hit him in the right spot.
The spinning back kick. You're right.
And he's spinning.
The body one, the
it hits him right here. Yeah. Boom, and that guy, you just go. It's like, holy shit, that's hard.
Yeah, he throws it fast.
And I saw him practicing. Yeah.
Now, step in Chad Mendes into the scene because he was the alternate. Now we could go into how I don't think he should have been the alternate. I think if you're going on fairness, it's got to be Frankie Edgar. But the UFC being the business that it is,
who's the moneymaker?
Conor McGregor did not tell Frankie Edgar that he would rest his nuts on his forehead. Conor McGregor did, in fact, tell little mini Mendes that he would put his nuts on his forehead.
Here's my question.
So now we've got a story.
Frankie Edgar, who's a better fighter, Frankie Edgar or Mendes?
I think Frankie beats Mendes 7 out of 10 times.
Okay, so Frankie is
I think Frankie's a goddamn freak.
Okay, so he could be a legitimate title.
Yeah.
Has he fought Aldo? Aldo's beat him.
Aldo beat him, but it was very, very close.
That was the best fight.
As the second Mendes fight and the first and the Frankie fight were the closest I've ever seen.
Aldo beat up, wasn't he?
He gets beat up.
I think I remember watching that.
Now we're watching with Aldo. The same thing happened at GSP, where he's taking more and more damage in each of these fights towards the end of his career, basically. It's
hard to get him in the ring.
He's taken more and more damage, and he's injured more often. St. Pierre was out for over a year, 13 months, I think, 14 months.
You have a window to fight.
Yeah.
I feel like you can't fight. You fight too long, your body's starts breaking.
Yeah, a little bit easier and a little bit harder to heal next time, once you get past 35 or so. And
Aldo's been fighting since when?
He's been fighting for a long time. He hasn't been beaten 6 years, I want to say.
Yeah. But his training.
And I don't know how old he is, but I think he's like 29. He's still fairly young. Conor's 26, Mendes is.
But most guys aren't that good at that age where he was better than everybody by that much.
Yeah, Jose is a goddamn savage.
Invite Conor McGregor.
And so here we have Chad Mendes coming in as the fill-in guy, and they did their little. Me and you watched it where they did their little phone thing. They were both on the line for a conference call, and they talked some shit, you know.
Connor.
And did you see the awkward ass dude walk up to Chad Mendes and go, "Break this dude's jaw for me, okay?" Did you see how
I
awkward
missed
that guy
that
was?
one.
Oh, it was so
Jeez.
weird.
Who
So
was
odd.
he?
Just some nervous fucking fan guy in California,
Oh my god.
and he was just so nervous it made it sound awkward as fuck. But I've got some concerns about Mendes as well. I think that Frankie and Jose are the ones that have the legitimate shot at it being the favorite and beating Conor McGregor. And Mendes is the next tier down, but there's shit that worries me. We watched the Dennis Seaver fight with McGregor, right?
Yeah.
And Seaver double-legged Conor McGregor. Seaver doesn't do that. He's not a takedown guy.
That's what I'm gonna guess he just went for something, and happened to get him, because I think those guys of that caliber of fighting, can know how to do a double.
Oh yeah.
And if they're reaching to the bottom of their bag of tricks, you know, like he got beat up fucking good.
But
Seaver.
Yeah, he did.
But Connor beat his ass.
But he got him to the. He couldn't hold him down.
Because he's not he's not up to the fighter that Mendes is.
Mendes, I'm worried if he gets him to the ground. Mendes does damage. Mendes is a fucking powerful dude, and if he can hold him down, and do damage, you know, that's a long night for Conor. If Conor can't get back to the feet, if Conor can keep it on the feet, if he can keep it on the feet and not get taken, if he can stuff the first 2 rounds of takedown attempts, I think Conor and you know, Mendes can survive, you know, the trying to get the takedown. Yeah. I think that at that point all Mendes has is a puncher's chance. I don't think he's he's definitely not better at stand up.
No.
It's just that I'm worried about I know that if Mendes can get him down, he's gonna stay on him a little longer than Seaver was able to.
That's his strategy.
Yeah,
his strategy is gonna be get on top of him. And Connor's during that phone call, what do you say?
What are you gonna do when you get me to the ground?
He's gonna. I'll be. What?
You're gonna stay in my guard.
I'd say, what do you call him? A weak. Called him.
You have weak jiu-jitsu. You're gonna stay in my guard, and I'll do damage. I'll do damage from the guard. I don't care.
Connor.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do, Connor?
So there's that too. I know Connor really is a violent dude from his guard. He's gonna be throwing elbows, and if Mendes can't pass guard, he's probably gonna get cut open. So you've got that too.
Stay.
Yeah. And they're both telling each other exactly what they're gonna do. So
they are. I don't think there's any tricks being played here.
I've made the mental shift. I'm now excited about this fight. The Jose thing is in the past.
Well, they're putting gold up on the line, and that's all that really matters. Is and it makes Aldo look bad again by saying it to, like they're stripping him partially of the title. You know,
and it's not fair because he did just defend it earlier this year or at the end of last year.
I don't remember watching him.
It was Mendes the last.
But he hasn't fought very many fights.
Yeah, it was Mendes. Jose has not fought a lot of fights. He's kind of been. I think he's had some injury issues, and
Mendes, I do remember that fight. I think wasn't Mendes beating him up a little bit. And then Aldo got him.
Yeah.
And then in like the second round, was it the second round or third round?
They both knocked each other down.
I think punches. I remember. Yeah.
But it went all 5.
Oh, okay.
The first Mendes fight, Mendes was not as much of a striker. He hadn't been under the tutelage of Dwayne Ludwig at all.
I'm thinking of a different
He
fight.
dove for a takedown, and Jose just kneed him in the face and knocked him out. Let's see here. So Jose Aldo defended his title against Chad Mendes at the end of 2014.
Huh.
And then he fought Ricardo Lamas at the beginning of 2014, so February and October. But then, 2 times in 13, August and February, 1 time in 2012. So he didn't fight for over a year after he knocked out Chad Mendes the first time.
Okay.
And then before that, just a little bit before that, 2 times in 11. So he's fought a steady 2 times. He got hurt in 2012.
You think he might be on the verge or thinking about retiring?
Yes. Yeah, his coach has even made mention of it. Like, maybe even before he got hurt, they were talking about, like, maybe retirement after this fight. So that's another knock on him is you got a guy that's got
money here for him to be made, though. I don't think he can walk away from it. There's a lot of money in that fight.
Yeah.
And he has it, I'm sure, but that fight's probably the biggest fight of his career.
It would be, yeah.
In both of their careers. And I bet, this fight, Conor's making a lot on this fight now. I mean, he's probably not as much as he would have made, but
I think he's making the same.
The same?
But
they're going to...
I mean, you're right. You're right, because I believe they throw in pay-per-view shares. Like used to do with GSP was the biggest pay-per-view draw there was, so he would get a percentage of the pay-per-view sales.
He was the one bringing in the people.
And Conor should get every bit of that, too.
Yeah, because he's the one bringing
bringing in the people.
It's not Mendes bringing the fucking people.
Yeah, exactly.
If Mendes wins it, then it sort of makes that division what it was. To me, like...
Would you look at that?
No, I don't want to.
I kicked your fucking door jam so hard. I'd
rather look at my white legs.
My entire ring toe is purple and red and just off-colored. Look at it. Like,
the irony.
It's brutal.
The irony. My room hurt your foot without me wanting to do it. I won't touch it or look. I couldn't break someone's toe.
No,
I couldn't grab it. And
if you had boots on, you could stomp on it.
I could do that,
but so I guess let's make our calls on this fight and let's put it out there. I'm gonna forget what we said, but
it'll be on something.
I'll write it down.
I'm gonna say my call. I got Conor. I think Conor will win it in the 3rd round. I mean, and if it goes past, I feel like if it goes past 3, anyways, it's gonna be Conor's, because I was gonna say earlier in their body shape and their size.
Yeah.
If there's a lot of working and it does grind out like that, I think there's a better chance Conor is gonna finish him later in the fight.
Mendes is I forget who he was fighting. But his first fight back after the original KO from no, he had a few fights, but he gassed big time in a fight.
And he has those bubbly muscles, a little bit, where he could grind it out, on top of Conor. But like you said, I think it's going to Conor's in better shape. Not better shape. I say if they were in equal shape.
Stay ready so I don't have to get ready.
He has the right type of body to go just 5 rounds. Hopefully it's the right.
Which puts me right into my call. I'm going to call Conor McGregor by decision because Chad Mendes is a tough dude.
Yeah.
But I think that he wears him out on the feet trying to get those takedowns. Trying to get takedowns is very tiring if you're not getting them.
If you can't take someone down, it's will breaking, I'm sure. Yeah. At a point when you realize you can't take a guy.
Right.
And you're and it's just like, fuck, I'm making myself look like a chump. Chump.
Yeah, and it really saps the energy. And
I did it all for the nookie, Fred Durst.
Treated like a chump.
Hey. I loved that song when it first came out.
Oh, we all did. It's embarrassing. So...